Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, once the beating heart of the American auto industry, now struggles with staggering poverty and abandoned buildings. In 2013, Detroit became the largest city in U.S. history to file for bankruptcy, owing a jaw-dropping $18 billion. The streets are riddled with vacant homes, factories, and decaying landmarks. But it's not just about the eerie visuals. Detroit is ranked one of the most dangerous cities in America, with crime rates far higher than the national average. Car thefts, violent crime, and gang activity are rampant. The city's challenges aren't just economic, they're social and political. While efforts to revitalize Detroit are underway, the scars of decades of deindustrialization and corruption linger. If you're thinking of making it here, don't forget to pack both hope and caution. St. Louis, Missouri. If you want to see a city plagued by crime, look no further than St. Louis. The city has consistently ranked as one of the most dangerous in the U.S. In 2020, St. Louis had the highest homicide rate among major U.S. cities, with over 250 murders. That's nearly double the national average. The violence isn't just random. It's deeply rooted in poverty, racial inequality, and a lack of resources. But what's even more tragic? St. Louis has a history of being a hub of innovation, with the iconic Gateway Arch standing as a testament to its once thriving economy. Yet, decades of neglect have left many areas of the city in desperate need of attention. As the city struggles with revitalization efforts, crime continues to eat away at its potential. Until meaningful change comes, St. Louis remains a tough place to thrive. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore has the kind of reputation that follows you around. The city has earned a spot on multiple most dangerous cities lists, with crime and unemployment rates that are hard to ignore. Its murder rate is higher than many larger cities, making headlines each year. Baltimore's struggle isn't just with violence. The city is also dealing with rampant drug abuse and widespread poverty. Once a powerhouse for the shipping and industrial sectors, Baltimore is now battling to reclaim its place. In recent years, violent clashes between police and residents have made national news, adding to the city's tense atmosphere. Many neighborhoods remain entrenched in cycles of poverty, and finding the right solution seems more elusive with each passing year. Baltimore isn't easy for anyone, least of all for those trying to start over. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago's violence problem isn't a secret. The city regularly dominates headlines for shootings and gang wars, with certain neighborhoods often described as war zones. Despite being one of the U.S.'s largest cities with incredible culture and economy, Chicago can feel like a place where hope is hard to come by. In 2020 alone, the city saw over 770 homicides, the highest in 2 decades. Much of this violence is fueled by the ongoing drug trade, poverty, and gang influence. But it's not all doom and gloom. Chicago is home to thriving arts, food, and tech scenes, and it remains an economic powerhouse. Still, for anyone trying to navigate its tougher areas, the risks are clear. Chicago's long-standing issues haven't been solved, and they're not going away anytime soon. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is a city of contrasts, rich culture and history on one hand, yet plagued by poverty and violence on the other. With a murder rate nearly double the national average, New Orleans is a city that faces serious crime issues. Much of it stems from deep-rooted economic inequality and the aftershocks of Hurricane Katrina, which displaced thousands and decimated infrastructure. While Mardi Gras and jazz keep the city famous around the world, locals know the struggles that haunt its streets. In 2019, the city had over 150 murders, a number that's remained stubbornly high. Even with a tourism-driven economy, many residents face challenges finding steady work and decent housing. As New Orleans continues to recover from its past, it remains a challenging place to live, especially for those without the resources to fight back. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland has spent years battling against the rust of its industrial past. Once a booming manufacturing city, it's now known for high unemployment and a tough housing market. Crime rates in Cleveland are notoriously high, with theft and violent crime both affecting residents daily. The city's economic struggles are compounded by blighted neighborhoods and underfunded schools. Cleveland has made some strides in trying to revitalize its downtown, but the suburbs and outer neighborhoods still suffer from years of neglect. It doesn't help that Cleveland's public transit system is outdated and unreliable, leaving many residents struggling to get by. While the Cleveland Cavaliers' NBA victories give the city a sense of pride, the economic reality for many is far bleaker. With so many challenges to overcome, Cleveland still has a long way to go before it's a comfortable place for most to call home. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, known for its music scene and deep historical roots, also has a darker side. The city struggles with some of the highest crime rates in the U.S., particularly when it comes to violent offenses. In 2020, Memphis saw a surge in violent crime, with homicides spiking by 30%. Gang activity, poverty, and a lack of economic opportunities are major contributors to the unrest. In addition, the city faces a crumbling infrastructure, with many areas lacking basic services and adequate housing. Memphis's crime rate is so bad that local businesses, especially in the hospitality and tourism sectors, have to invest heavily in security. As Memphis tries to capitalize on its historical significance, it must first address the long-standing challenges facing its citizens. For now, it remains a tough city to live in, especially for those on the wrong side of the economic divide. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia might be home to the Liberty Bell, but it's also home to some of the highest poverty rates in the country. In 2020, the city reported over 400 homicides, with gun violence accounting for a significant chunk. The challenge in Philadelphia is deep-rooted in its history, its culture, and its people. Despite being one of the largest cities in the U.S., it has a massive wealth gap that leaves entire neighborhoods neglected and vulnerable to crime. Schools are underfunded, and employment opportunities remain scarce, especially for those without higher education. The opioid epidemic has also hit hard, with many lives lost to addiction. If you're looking to live here, you have to be ready to fight through systemic challenges that have plagued the city for decades. Philadelphia is a place where opportunities are there, but so are the odds. Oakland, California. Oakland has been called the bad boy of the Bay Area, and for good reason. While neighboring San Francisco boasts wealth and tech, Oakland battles with high crime rates and poverty. Over the years, Oakland's struggles with violent crime have made headlines, especially its notorious gang problems. Despite its proximity to Silicon Valley, the city remains one of the most dangerous in California. Homelessness has skyrocketed, and drug use is rampant in certain neighborhoods. What's more concerning is the lack of real solutions being implemented. While gentrification attempts to sweep through, they've often failed to address the systemic issues that keep people stuck in poverty. Oakland is a city with potential, but it remains burdened by its own harsh realities. Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis is no stranger to crime. It consistently ranks as one of the most dangerous cities in the Midwest. With a crime rate much higher than the national average, Indianapolis has earned its reputation for violence. The city struggles with gang activity, drug trafficking, and widespread poverty. Even though it has a thriving sports culture and large corporate presence, the disparities in wealth and opportunity are stark. Public schools are underfunded, and many neighborhoods are plagued with neglected infrastructure. The rise in gun violence and carjackings in recent years has only added to the problem. For residents, it often feels like the city is stuck in a cycle that's tough to break. Indianapolis might have some big-name events, but it also has some serious growing pains to deal with. Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is a city of extremes. Huge wealth in some areas, but extreme poverty in others. Known for its booming energy sector, it's also home to one of the highest crime rates in the country. The city's rapid growth, combined with an underfunded police force and aging infrastructure, has made it difficult to manage. In 2020, Houston had more than 400 homicides, and many of its neighborhoods suffer from chronic poverty. Gang violence, human trafficking, and property crime are significant issues, with certain areas becoming notorious for their danger. But Houston also faces a different issue: the city's lack of affordable housing. While it attracts people from all over the world, many end up in substandard living conditions, unable to find proper work or services. Houston's future depends on solving these deep-rooted issues. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas is often viewed as the ultimate escape for tourists, but life here can be incredibly tough. Behind the glitz and glamour of the Strip lies a city struggling with high crime rates, especially in certain neighborhoods. Property crime is rampant, and gang activity is a significant problem. But the real kicker? Las Vegas is known for its massive wealth disparity. While tourists and wealthy visitors flood the city, many residents live paycheck to paycheck, struggling with rising housing costs and low wages. Las Vegas also has an opioid epidemic, which continues to devastate families. Despite efforts to revitalize certain areas, parts of the city remain locked in a vicious cycle of poverty and crime. For those hoping to call this place home, it's a harsh reality to face.